So, I'm not gonna lie, when I initially saw that the Flying Raijin Slice was going to be the next jutsu, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy about the piercing finger either, because I was like, we got all these Hokages, all these Kages that got reanimated. Why are we going to do somebody that's already been done? Why Tobirama? But they proved me wrong with this jutsu. This has honestly been one of the funnest jutsus I've played with in this game with range types in a long time, and that says a lot. And I'm just, hey, they surprised me. So Bandai, you did your thing with this one. But today's anime question is going to be, what is your favorite moment from Naruto where the Flying Raijin is used? So your favorite Flying Raijin scene, let me know in the comments. But we're going to be going over the Flying Raijin jutsu, breaking it down, giving you the counters and the strengths and what goes well with it, what doesn't. So if this is something you think you might be interested in, stay tuned in the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those nice things, and let's go ahead and hop straight into this breakdown. So when we actually get into the breakdown of this jutsu, the description, we see also this thing has a 12-second cooldown, but the description of this jutsu is the Flying Raijin Slice, a surprise attack that strikes enemy from a blind spot with the Flying Raijin jutsu. The user throws a kunai and after moving, performs a lunging slash, deals additional damage to enemies that aren't targeting the user. So that last part, deals additional damage to enemies that aren't targeting the user. There's two different types of lock-ons in Shinobi Striker. There's a hard lock-on where the red part pops up, and there's also a soft lock-on where just when they come into your field of vision, it's going to give you like that light green yellow lock-on where, you know, if you want to fully lock on, you can do that. In order for this sneak attack to work, you're going to have to fully have no lock-on from your opponent. So you need to be out of their sight. There's nothing that they're not seeing you, and the damage boost you get from this is pretty significant. Pairing up with the right things, especially with some defense reductions, things like popping somebody with Amaterasu and then coming in and hitting it, you can deal a decent amount of damage with this. But there's something else that's pretty crazy about this jutsu, and it just contributes to Shinobi Striker's attention to detail. We know that this is Tobirama's jutsu, so what do you think this counters? It counters the Sharingan and the Uchiha style flame formation, which is pretty crazy because we know that my man Tobirama is racist to Uchiha, which is why we're wearing the Uchiha shirt right now. But it's pretty crazy. This thing completely gets rid of Sharingan. You don't have to worry about that, and flame formation is going to be no problem. So some other key points about this jutsu: it's good for movement. This thing pretty much lets you go the full distance of your lock-on that you can do with your hard and soft lock-on. It's pretty good. Also, it's way more accurate than other Flying Raijin jutsu. That's what I was worried about. I thought this thing wasn't going to hit that well, but it actually has some very good activation because of the second part. You throw the Raijin and then you teleport and then you actually slice, which allows for it to actually get that chance to hit somebody that's moving. This thing will miss sometimes, but it has a short cooldown, so it doesn't really matter. It's good for ambushing enemies because they're not going to be locked onto you, so you're going to be able to deal out some crazy damage and steal some kills. It's best on the ground and on a stable target. If you're in the air, it'll still hit, but the accuracy goes down a little bit when you're in the air. This thing's also a combo starter. Whenever you actually slice them and they're on the ground, they don't fall to the ground immediately. They do like that slow Chidori animation where they fall down, and you can pick the combo up, especially if you're using like the thunderous needles or something quick where you can just hit them fast. I was using the water cannons, and it was very easy to combo into things with this. And this jutsu just allows for great creativity, and it allows you to chase down opponents. But really, the creativity with this jutsu is a very big selling point. It's just crazy with that. So some misconceptions, some things that won't work and that won't get rid of the lock-on that allows you to actually get the boost and the damage boost is the flashbang. The flashbang is not going to work if they're locked on you, or even if they have the soft lock-on. When you hit them with the flashbang, they're still going to have that soft lock-on. You're not going to get the damage boost. Ink Birds is also not going to work. It's iffy. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. Kamui also is not going to work because the soft lock-on doesn't go away. Smoke bombs won't get rid of this as well. And restraining ninjutsu, so things like Icicle Swallow and things like Wood Strangle Jutsu, if you're trying to pair it with somebody, this isn't going to get rid of that soft lock-on. Now, some things that will work, which was highly interesting to me, the first thing is going to be, this is the thing that works the best, the multi-shadow clone substitution. When you do this, it automatically resets your opponent's lock-on, and they're not going to be able to lock onto you easily because there's 3 clones coming, which gives you the perfect window to hit them with the Flying Raijin Slice because you almost always appear behind them with the substitution. Hiding in Ash is also going to reset their lock-on. Using the Moonlit Pill is also very well. If you pair the Moonlit Pill with the Hiding in Ash is going to allow you to sneak up behind somebody, especially if they're in the middle of a fight, and then pop out and just hit them with the Flying Raijin. Of course, Chikashoto is going to work since the Moonlit Pill, and both of these things are going to allow you to get rid of the lock-on. And Heavenly Hand Power paired with the right things is going to allow you to also get the drop on your opponent. So, like I said, we already know this counter Sharingan and Chi Flame formation. Some other strengths of this jutsu, it's very good with people that are running Angelic Advent. So this is going to be very good for running like Flag and things like that. If you're trying to catch somebody that's running Angelic Advent, you're going to be able to hit them in the air. This is a pretty good jutsu with that. Some weaknesses with this jutsu though, it doesn't do well against turtle jutsu. So things like Susanoo armor and Sukuna Hakona, it's not going to get through that. Reinforcement jutsu, so things like Nido Jizo and Rock is not going to do well. Counter things that also countered is trap jutsu, so things like acrobat technique, 8 trigrams palm rotation, and one of the best counters is limbo border gel, because as soon as they come through, the limbo is going to start hitting them and just knocks them into the air. Also, this thing doesn't do well against blocking. It doesn't break guard, so that's of course an important thing. But since you're going to be sneaking up on people for the most part, you're not going to have to worry about guarding. And this thing also doesn't hit through combos. So if somebody's like spamming, if you're going up against an attack type and they have the claws and they're doing like the little whirlwind attack, you're not going to be able to get through that. And especially defense types, if they're spamming their heavy attack because you know they have armor with that, you're not going to be able to hit them with this Flying Raijin. But those are some key things to know with this jutsu. But all around, even with those drawbacks, this jutsu is just crazy. It's definitely, in my opinion, it clears all of Obito's jutsu very easily, and I even go as far to say that it clears Tamari's jutsu. This one jutsu is very good, and I was very skeptical about it when they announced it, but I'm very impressed with how they did it, and you can just see how they're starting to become unique with some of these skills that they do, adding extra damage whenever your opponent isn't locked on. It just lets you know that they're thinking of things to make things more interesting and more creative. But let me know what y'all think about the jutsu. With all these things, even with it be blockable, I'm going to have to give it a solid A rank rating. I think this is a pretty good jutsu. But let me know if y'all agree with my opinions. Let me know if this video was helpful for y'all. And next things up is going to be the Kaguya DLC. And we know we're ready for that. But I'm going to see y'all on the next one, man. We up.